Hey everyone, and welcome back, and happy 2024. Hopefully the year is off to a good start for you guys. Definitely wanted to start the year with a couple of quick announcements. Now, some of them obviously already had mentioned in the previous video as far as the Vinegar Syndrome stuff has been going on this whole week, which is subscriber week. So I'm going to go over their January titles, but before I get to that, I actually do want to mention Kino has made two announcements, which I think are pretty cool. First one is both of these are coming later this year. No specific dates just yet, but the first one is called the Sci-Fi Chillers Collection. It'll have 3 films on it, including The Unknown Terror from 1957, The Colossus of New York from 1958, and Destination Inner Space from 1966. So no further details at this point, but it's kind of nice because, you know, some of these more, I would say sort of more obscure films are getting released, which is nice. And then next up, the big announcement, at least for me anyway, that Kino announced is they're working on a 4K release of William Friedkin's Rampage, which what year did that come out? Does it even say here? 1987. And I could be wrong about this. Maybe you guys know more than I do, but I don't even think this ever got like a DVD release, let alone like a Blu-ray or anything. At least here in the States anyway. It's kind of one of those films that hasn't like not quite disappeared, but kind of, it almost feels that way. So it's nice that not only is it finally getting a release, but indeed a 4K release. Very, very early announcement. Again, no release date, just later this year. But they did announce that it will at least have the alternate ending, which I didn't even know there was an alternate ending. Now, whether or not that's going to be an extra or whether or not it'll actually be technically 2 cuts of the film, I don't know. Obviously, we'll find out when the specs are released. But for me, definitely a very exciting announcement. And if I'm also not mistaken, I believe they also did say that William Friedkin's Bug, which had previously been announced a while ago, but I believe got canceled, is actually in the works again. So no official announcement on that one just yet. Obviously, when there is, I will definitely mention it. But yeah, so we're getting actually 2 more Friedkin films coming. Again, I don't know about Bug as far as like when, whether it be this year or just somewhere in the future, but definitely Rampage, which I'm very, very excited about. It's a serial killer film if you don't know anything about it. Anyway, very exciting news. And then next up, we move to the Vinegar Syndrome titles for January. And so it's good, just as a heads up, there will be probably 2 more titles announced that are going to be announced this weekend that I'm not going to get to. They're sort of announcing stuff like every single day, but the main titles have been announced. It's more some of their sub-labels. So for example, I think there's 1 VSA title that has not been announced yet, as well as 1 more in their brand new line, the Cinema Techograph. They've announced 1 title for that already, which I'm going to cover in just a second, and then they have 1 more coming. I think that's the last title they're going to announce on Sunday, the end of the subscriber week that's going on right now. And just heads up, if you are going to become a subscriber for them for this year, that opportunity does end Sunday night. Anyway, so let's move on to the announcements. So first up, I'm actually going to do their sub-labels first, and then I'll cover their regular releases. So first up, let's see, it's a new one in their Vinegar Syndrome Pictures line, which is one that releases more recent films. And that is the film Divinity from last year, from 2023. With an interesting cast, Stephen Dorff, Scott Bakula, and Bella Thorne. This is going to be a Region A Blu-ray, so heads up on that, it's going to be Region A. It does come with a 60-minute audio conversation with the director and producer Steven Soderbergh, The Modern Prometheus, Divinity and Speculative Science Fiction, a video essay by author and film historian Sam Dean, behind-the-scenes footage, theatrical trailers, Sundance trailer, teaser trailers with Jupiter, Mickey, and Og, as well as a still gallery. And then next up is a new title in their Vinegar Syndrome Labs one, which tends to, so far anyway, it's kind of been an interesting mix of films between like way older films, including some, I believe some of the early releases were like from the 40s, to even a couple of foreign films. And this one is no exception. From 1984, it's the Polish film Sex Mission, getting a region-free Blu-ray release. It's going to have a commentary track with film historian Jeremy Ritchie, Mission, X-Mission, Sex Mission, an interview with actor Olgierd Lukasiewicz. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I know I butchered that name. Dark Side of the Moon, science fiction films in the Polish People's Republic, interview with film historian Tomasz Kolej. He's a film historian. I'm not even trying to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. Mission Accomplished, Women, Worlds, and Male Power, a video essay by film historian Andrew Nett. And then next up is the first official announcement in their brand new line, the Cinematograph. I think I'm pronouncing that right, I think. It's a 4K release of the movie Little Darlings from, what year was this? 1980. And yes, that is the film with Tatum O'Neal and Chrissy McNichol. And I believe it's a Paramount title, so that's again, furthering their licensing agreement with Paramount. And again, I think the nice thing about this new line is that obviously it looks like they're planning to release different kinds of films on it, which is nice. You know, that's actually a nice thing. So just real quick, this is getting a 4K release, and it'll have a Region A locked Blu-ray, commentary with director Ron Maxwell, commentary with Millie DeChorizo of I Saw What You Did podcast, alternate scenes with commentary by the director, an hour-long video interview with the director, Don't Let the Title Fool You, Little Darlings Beyond the Teen Sex Comedy, a video essay by Sam Dean, as well as some essays included. So that's the first one in their title. And again, there is going to be a second announcement coming at the end of the weekend. Obviously, it's just going to happen after this video is done. So then I'll cover it in the next one. And then before we get to the actual Vinegar, like the regular releases, we have actually one more in their VSU line, the Vinegar Syndrome Ultra line, which they only do a couple a year, and that's a 4K release of the movie Southern Comfort, the Walter Hill film from, what year was this, 1981. And that'll be a 2-disc set, 4K disc, as well as a region-free Blu-ray, with a new 4K transfer from the original 35mm interpositive, and have a commentary track with Walter Chaw, author of a Walter Hill film, Battle in the Bayou, a brand new interview with Walter Hill, Behind Enemy Lines, a brand new featurette with editor Freeman Davis and assistant editor Lisa Zeno Churgan. Boy, I'm messing up names today, aren't I? Soldiers, Not Mailmen, a brand new interview with costumer Dan Moore. Into the Unknown, a brand new interview with film historian Wayne Byrne on Southern Comfort and the legacy of Walter Hill. An archival featurette featuring interviews with Walter Hill and co-producer David Geiler, along with several members of the cast, a still gallery, a video trailer, and this will be in one of their limited edition box sets. So those are like deluxe sets, which I believe all their VSU titles are. And now we move to the 3 regular Vinegar Syndrome titles, and these are basically the only 3 so far that are actually included in the subscription if you sign up for it. First up is a Blu-ray release of the movie Santet and Santet 2, Indonesian film from, 1988, 1989. That'll be a region-free Blu-ray, newly scanned in 2K from the original 35mm camera negative. Commentary track with film historian Dr. Eki Emanjaya for Santet, as well as a 16-page booklet. And the next one, which I'm excited about, is a box set. It's the Forgotten Gialli Volume 6. So I'm glad these are still going. And so that has 3 Blu-rays included. The first one is of the film Death Carries a Cane from 1973. It's going to be a region-free Blu-ray. Actually, I think all 3 of these are region-free, if I'm not mistaken. Got a new transfer from the original 35mm camera negative. And have both the original Italian mono soundtrack as well as an English dub. Commentary track with film historians Eugenio Ercolani, Troy Howarth, and Nathaniel Thompson. And I believe they did commentary tracks at all 3 films. So just as a heads up, I'm not going to repeat that. A Life in the Suite, an interview with editor Eugenio Alabiso, as well as promotional still gallery. Next up is the movie Naked You Die from 1968. And that will be region-free Blu-ray as well. New transfer from the original camera negative, and it'll actually have 2 versions of the film. So the original 97-minute Italian cut, as well as a 78-minute English language cut under the title Schoolgirl Killer. That's quite a difference. That's almost, like 20 minutes almost. And I'll have a commentary track, again, with those 3 same people, as well as Young, Evil, and Savage, an interview with actress Sally Smith. Schoolgirl Killer, an interview with actress Eleonora Brown. Last Shower, an interview with actress Melissa Longo. Hello Giallo, Death Finds Its Feet, a video essay by Mike Foster on Naked You Die in the early days of the Giallo film. Giallo Dawson, a video essay by Pier Maria Bocci on the lesser-known films of Naked You Die, director Antonio Margheriti, a.k.a. Anthony Dawson, as well as a promotional still gallery. And then finally, the 3rd film in the set is The Bloodstained Shadow from 1978, getting a region-free Blu-ray, a new transfer from the original A new transfer from the original 35mm camera negative. Commentary track, again, with those three people. As well as a Deep Black, an interview with director Antonio Bido. Inkstained Shadow, an interview with screenwriter Marissa Andalo. Beauty in the Darkness, actress Stefania Cassini. Interviewed by Antonio Bido, the director. Rural Horror Hero, actor Lino Capoliccio. Interviewed by the director. The Bloodstained Set, an interview with production assistant Luciano Lucci. A Bloodstained Sound, an interview with musician Claudio Simonetti. Ah, that's cool. I didn't know he did the score. A Still Gallery, alternate English titles and credits, an original Italian trailer, and an original English trailer. So a very, very cool set. And again, I'm glad that they are continue on with these and that a lot of these giallos aren't, sort of disappearing, which sometimes I get worried about. So really glad that those sets are continuing to come out. And then finally, the last title is which they did previously announce, of course, is the new 4K release of The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock. From 1962, and it's going to be a 4K release as well as a Blu-ray. Now, the included Blu-ray will be Region A Lot, just as a heads up on that. But I have a new transfer from the original 35mm camera negative, and then we'll have two cuts of the film. The 87-minute Italian cut features both its Italian and English language tracks, and the 76-minute American cut with its English language track, and both of those cuts are going to be available on both in 4K as well as the included Blu-ray. Have a commentary track actually with the same three people who did the commentary tracks for the Forgotten Gialli set, as well as The Horrible Dr. Frida, an interview with second assistant director Marcello Avallone, The Most Honorable Julian Perry, an interview with screenwriter Ernesto Gastaldi, Necropolices and Necrophiliacs, filmmaker Marcello Avallone, an Italian horror and his experiences of working within the genre, scene select commentary track with actress Barbara Steele, moderated by Barbara Steele archivist Russ Lanier. That's cool. I'm glad they got her involved. English Raptus title sequence, an Italian trailer, and a still gallery. So very, very cool release. And again, these are all, I think that's everything. And these are obviously are their January titles. So anyway, I just want to do a news video to kind of kick off the year. I am going to actually, now I am working on my favorite releases of 2023. I'm just trying to finalize my list, and I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So that video is going to be coming up because I want to get that one out before we get too much into the year and pretty much none of us care anymore. And I also want to do an update video just as a little bit of a heads up on where things are at right now and where I want to be in the year ahead. Anyway, that's for later. So definitely let me know your thoughts on all of these announcements. And let me know if you decided to go ahead and try the subscriber thing for Vinegar Syndrome this year. Should be getting a couple more announcements anytime now. I think we should be getting some more Scream Factory announcements. Obviously, the Arrow ones will be at the end of the month, but I mean, there are other couple companies we should be getting some announcements soon. So should be looking, so a lot to look forward to in the new year. And obviously I do once again want to say Happy New Year, Happy 2024. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.